All right, good morning, guys. It's Monday, October 22nd, and even though I uploaded like a shit ton of videos yesterday, I'm doing your daily wisdom shot for today, and I've laid out the cards. I'm really getting the feeling that it's time to kind of cut the crap again. We keep coming around to these cycles where it's really about removing layers and layers of really dense material so that we are not carrying around that low vibrational stuff and therefore attracting in that low vibrational crap. And I'm seeing like just a lot of conflicting energies that are being brought in because we're still carrying some of that. Now, rest assured, you have already shed a whole bunch of different layers of this stuff. So this is like the new normal now, and you are ready to actually ascend even farther. So I feel like, first of all, you have to realize that even though you've come to a certain place and you've achieved a certain amount and you are really proud of all the work that you've done, there's still more work to be done. So just be really aware of that and make sure that you're not coming off as with some kind of spiritual egoism, like feeling like you're better than other people, or feeling like, you know, somehow you've made it and there's no more work to be done, or, you know, you've ascended and therefore, you know, you don't have to worry about certain issues coming up within yourself or brushing them off because thinking they're somebody else's issues, etc. Everything that you experience has an anchor within you. So if you're experiencing it, there's something within you that needs to be addressed and needs to be very objectively looked at. You have to take yourself out of the subjective frame of mind, because if you are being subjective about it, you're going to go in circles in your head, and it's going to basically run you through like ruminations. You're going to be super anxious, thinking about things, not knowing which perspective to see it from. And the only perspective that you need right now is to look down from the perspective of the divine at what is happening, and knowing that anything you're experiencing externally is because you're experiencing it internally, whether you know it or not. Okay, so look at everything you're experiencing today from that angle, and I think that what you need to do will become very clear. Some of you still have, or some of us, I should not even say you, some of us still have old heartbreaks that we've got to release. The kinds of mental cycles that we go through based on these heartbreaks, probably from childhood. So we're talking about like that first wounding, that first time someone made us feel afraid or unworthy. Those are the kinds and the level of wounding that we're looking at, and that's keeping us blocked from what we want. Whether you're on my channel looking to unite with a divine complement, or if you're just looking for the way forward through ascension, or if none of those words mean anything to you and you just really want a better life and to be happy, like those are all kind of the same thing. So look back at that first wounding, because we all carry those three swords around. You see the Three of Swords in the spread. And that will continue to attract in that Nine of Swords type energy, where we are stuck in our own misery just because we've left these swords lodged in our heart. So it's really time to remove those, because that is keeping us blocked. Okay, and just recognizing them objectively, what that is a huge step forward, and making sure that we're not continuing to attract all of these other outside swords. You see the person in the Nine of Swords is like shielding themselves from these swords coming in from the outside, and that's like you attracting in all this negative energy that matches the vibration of the Three of Swords that you have lodged inside you and you haven't let go yet. You've let go of different layers of this kind of energy, but there's still, we all have this like central internal wounding that, you know, just entering into the third dimensional world makes you susceptible to. So it's not even looking to blame somebody here, or, you know, to lay blame or judgment on somebody else. This is really just about you being open and honest about the places where you felt pain and maybe hid it from everybody else in order to appear strong. Oh gosh, my dogs, I'm sorry. So that struggle of hiding that pain has caused you also to really reject the heart-based part of yourself. The part of yourself which is loving and open gets pushed away and blocked behind a wall because of the kind of back and forth push and pull conflict that you're having with yourself over allowing the vulnerability of releasing and showing and admitting to the pain that you're holding inside. You're holding it so close to the vest right now, clarify you with the clarifier, the 4 of clubs, that it's almost like it's become your safety. That wall has become your safety, but there's just this continued push and pull between you wanting to open your heart and be vulnerable to other people and to love, and then pushing that away. Oh my God, my dogs. Guys, that's enough. That is enough. Living with dogs, I swear. So anyway, pushing that away so that you're not actually living your authentic self from the emotional perspective, right? And you can really see that if you allow yourself to be that king of spades and back up and look at yourself on the objective, from an objective perspective, and pull yourself out of the subjective. Because if you're staying in the subjective perspective, you're probably looping around in your brain to ad nauseum, like to the point of insanity where you don't know which end is up anymore. It's time to stop the struggle. It's time to stop that. It's time to stop the struggle, blocking the Queen of Cups from emerging from your heart space, because that's where you want to be. That is your true, authentic, emotional self. And right now you're beating her back because you're trying to keep her safe. You're trying to keep yourself safe. You're trying to keep your inner child safe. This is like the story of my life, you guys. And so every time I do this, I'm like, should I even read this? Because this looks like me. But again, I feel like I'm attracting you guys in to my messages just because you're probably resonating with them. This is crucial to you being able to move forward in relationships and understanding your own self-worth. And that's kind of what this final column is about, is understanding your own self-worth, and therefore being strong enough and objective enough to cut away the pieces of yourself that you've used to protect yourself. And in doing that, because you were so focused on protecting this injured child or this injured person inside of you, you have actually blocked your ability to truly give and receive love, and therefore truly enter into any kind of emotionally based partnership, whether that be truly authentic with the people you work with, truly authentic within a romantic relationship, truly authentic with a parent or child, and you're losing an entire piece of the experience of this life by not releasing your hold and your wall, taking your wall down from that emotional heart energy. And it really is causing turmoil inside you, and you might not necessarily from the inside see the kind of turmoil that it's really causing. You might try to, I think a lot of people are assigning it to outside forces, but in the reality you're attracting in the outside forces because of the turmoil on the inside, trying to protect this wounded part of you. So it's time to let that go. It's time to be the Queen of Swords and not cruelly let it go, but objectively stand back with an open and loving heart and say, it's time for you to go. It's time for this wall to come down. It's time for you to open up and be that authentic person. You can see in the back of the Queen of Swords, in this deck, that's actually the exact picture of the Lover's card. And so to me, this tells me that she's kind of the gatekeeper to the lovers. She's the person that once we're making the decision from her perspective and shifting into this objective perspective about what is really serving us and what isn't, and releasing that which is not serving us, then we have a clean shot into that energy, the energy of the lovers. And it's the Two of Cups is underneath it. So that just highlights for me that if you're being blocked from a certain partnership of any kind, it's within you. And it's got to do with understanding your own value and your own worth and the things that, and who you are aside from the wounding, and releasing this wounding from continuing to attract in more internal and therefore external struggle. It's a new perspective. We have the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. And this is, again, the gateway to moving forward. I had the bottom of the deck of the clarifiers up there before. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's in the picture, maybe it isn't. I don't remember. But it was the Seven of Clubs. And it's like everything is hinging on or waiting for you to release this thing, whatever that is. And we have a full moon coming up, which is an excellent time for release. That's on the 24th. So I want you to take some time to figure out within yourself, what is that thing? What is that first wounding? And keep going back in your heart and in your mind when you think of when you first experienced that feeling of being shut out. What was that? Who did it? And is it real? Like, is it something that they can really be held responsible for? Or is it because they were a wounded individual themselves? And go to that part of your place and just send it unconditional love until it feels less like a burden, until it feels like it's able to release itself and be vulnerable to the giving and receiving of love, not expecting to be hurt again. I feel like that is, that's obviously today's reading, but I feel like that may be the energy for the week, that we really need to get serious about releasing whatever that first wounding is. Okay? I hope this is helpful for you guys. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for all your likes and subscribes and shares. And welcome to anybody who's new. That's a little late. If you are resonating with my readings, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it so that you can get notifications of when my posts go up. And I also have a brand new booking link to book readings, and you can schedule directly online, so there's not this frustrating back and forth to schedule. So please use it, and you can certainly contact me with any questions. Thank you guys so much, and let me know what you think of this reading today. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.